What's up, Dewar? It's your boy Tommy Mab, and I came to speak about the Lakers game and the Heat. And like I said, I love the NBA, man. I love the NBA playoffs. I love the NBA game. I just love it. Storylines. I just love so much about it. But that being said, as I said before, the Lakers last night went against the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 4, and as I said in the last game, when in the game before, even though they blew them out, I say I do not like their ball movement. There's not enough ball movement. They got lucky last night because Lebron, but there was no ball movement. Again, Anthony Davis is not good at passing out of double teams. He's not good at seeing passing lane. He's not. I don't remember if Anthony Davis ever was a great passing big man, but he was serviceable. Anthony Davis doesn't understand. He makes it harder on himself because he doesn't know how to pass. He doesn't look to pass out of double teams. And if Anthony Davis does not understand that, he's going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? He thinks aggressive means taking bad shots, and that's not what aggressive means. Aggressive means making the right play and doing the right thing. And certain times teams are going to say, we're not going to let you beat us, right? If anybody else, then sometimes you got to rely on your teammates to open things up for you. And I just don't think Anthony Davis generally does that. He it's like some of these shots, it's like Anthony Davis, you got two people on you in the paint. That means somebody's open. Find the open man. But instead, he'll take it, and try to I don't know. It just, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it just seems to me like he's trying to prove a point with Jaren Jackson Jr., right? Like he's trying to prove, because Jaren Jackson Jr. is like a younger version of AD, but the difference is that the dude is not on AD's level. When AD was that age, AD could do way more and was way more efficient than that kid is. That kid's great. He's a great defender, great offense. I mean, he's in his playoffs, I think he solidified himself as one of the top 5 big men in the NBA. He's really good, but he's not what AD was. You know what I'm saying? But I think AD sees it and he takes the challenge, and you're supposed to. But by the same token, your matchup is going to be harder to win than anybody else's because you playing the best defensive player in the league. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's like, yeah, he's inconsistent. He'll give you 11 this way or 40. Well, that's how it works when you're playing against a good defensive player. Most of your shots are going to be difficult. And the only thing I would criticize him about is not passing. He got to learn how to pass out of double teams. He's just terrible at it. He waits way too long to pass out of a double team. It's like he'll go and he'll dribble. I'm like, what are you dribbling for? You're just taking time off the clock to where y'all can't move the ball. And now y'all got to take a bad shot because you're taking so much of the clock trying to clearly get around a double team that you're not going to get around that close to the basket. I don't know. But in truth, I just don't. That's my biggest problem with Anthony Davis. D'Lo, I'll say this again. They was criticizing D'Lo at the beginning of the game. D'Lo was passing the hell out of the ball. D'Lo was making good reads. He was doing all the right things. But then, as the game is progressing, right, they put him out. Now, was his shot on before he got out? He got pulled? No, his shot was not on. He was struggling, but that's expected. You know what I mean? It's not like the guy has is out there shooting 20 shots a game. You know what I mean? He'll get one or two shots a quarter because he also is tasked with running the offense. He's not just going out there shooting up. So a lot of time when he gets shots, it's not expected. It's not in rhythm. It's like like he'll just kind of step up and shoot, but it's not really a thing where you would assume that he knew beforehand the play was going to be it's not like the play was drawn up for him. he just kind of gets the ball in the free-for-all when everybody's kind of running around, or when Anthony Davis, finally sees a wide open person. It's not like he passes it in stride, he catches and shoot. No, it's like ball all over the place. Anthony Davis grab it, just toss it anywhere, and he shoots up a contested three. So when people were dogging D'Lo at the beginning of the game, I'm like, D'Lo is not having a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. It's just about finding his spots, right? Then what happened? What helped him in that situation was LeBron. No, people don't understand. As a person who understands basketball, people do not understand what LeBron was doing in the fourth quarter outside of scoring. Because everybody remembers the buckets and the blocks, but nobody remembers the winning plays, the smart plays, the way he was doing it. Because at first he was letting them run it, and they were doing a terrible job. But even though LeBron didn't have the ball, and I never really see this, but LeBron didn't have the ball, but he was the one lining everybody up. Like, you go here, you go here, you go here. He didn't have the ball, and he was doing this. I'm like, that's crazy. And while the point guard is sitting there dribbling, he's walking up the court saying, you go over here, you go over here, you come. And so it's like a coach being on the field, running through, walkthroughs while the game is going. It was a crazy thing to see. And he 9 out of 10 times, the plays he wrote up, or the plays that he was running, you go here, da-da-da. That's what lined it up for D'Lo to get those shots. They were so compacted in the paint. It's like, okay, swing over. Instead of trying to get D'Lo in a spot that he was not comfortable. Like people don't understand. People have shooting spots, right? One thing I noticed about D'Lo, he is not a arc like the corner of the arc shooting player. That's why the Grizzlies kept giving him that, because generally that's not D'Lo's shot. He generally, if you notice D'Lo's shot, it goes up and then it drops. So most of the time, D'Lo's shot is best at the top of the arc, not on the side, not on this side. So because it's too much arc on his shot for it to drop, for him to be able to aim it, to drop it when you cut off the distance. But when you put D'Lo at the top of that three corner, and this is what LeBron did when he was doing what he was doing, and left, so they had to leave D'Lo in his spot. So D'Lo caught it in his spot, and that's why he was draining those 3 threes. When at the beginning of the game, he couldn't drain them. Same thing I would say about Malik Beasley. It's not just about, like, people don't understand. When they see people shooting open shots, they think, oh, you open, you should make it. Well, if that's not your spot, meaning your shot is not conducive to shooting from that place. There's a reason why Memphis is leaving you open in that spot, because they know you shoot a lower percentage from that part of the field. That part of the court. So they're going to give you that, and they're going to dare you to make it. They're going to dare you to do the things you don't do well. And that's what they kept doing with Malik Beasley, and that's what they kept doing with Troy Brown, and that's what they kept doing with D'Lo. Difference in the situation is LeBron strategized it with Austin Reeves them to make sure that D'Lo got it in his spot at the top. And I was not surprised when D'Lo started draining them then, because that was his spot. But nobody who don't understand basketball, they don't understand what LeBron did. They just look at it as D'Lo was hot. He finally started hitting threes. No, he finally started getting the ball at his spot. And people don't understand. And it annoys me when you sit there and listen to people talking and they don't understand basketball. Because fans are frustrated. Because they always talk about results, but they never talk about the thing that leads to the results. It's just result oriented. Oh, D'Lo made a shot. So nobody talk about the fact that before he made those 3 threes, they were dragging him on Twitter. And that's why I sit there and I say, you cannot do that. And I like that LeBron says that. Okay, LeBron made sure at the end of the game to make sure he pointed out, D'Lo helped us. D'Lo saved us. Essentially saying, get off his back. The Laker fans kill me with that. It's like y'all put so much pressure on your own team that these guys are under so much immense pressure to make it every time. It makes it harder to shoot an open shot. because there's so much pressure that they should never miss an open shot. And it's like they don't get a lot of open shots. But it's a low percentage shot for a reason. It's because now you're going to miss more than you make because it's a low percentage shot. But Malik Beasley trash. This one's trash. It's like, no, the defenses are set up to make sure that that the Lakers have to bring the ball inside. And if they're giving up threes in spots that these players are not good at. That's the difference between playoff basketball and regular season basketball. Regular season basketball, more likely that you can get to your spot. It's harder to get to your spot in when you're playing a team that's played you consistently and only is preparing for you and only worrying about you. It's not going to be as easy to get to your spot. It's not, isn't it? Anthony Davis, that right hook, that short right hook on the right side, you can clearly see he scouted. That's why he kept getting blocked. What they keep doing is they put Tillman in there, which they put Tillman low. So that pushes AD outside. So AD goes outside. When AD goes outside, then Jaren Jackson comes over and cleans it up and helps out. So it's harder for AD to get that shot because you're pushing him further back. And while he's gathering to get up to shoot the shot, Jaren Jackson's coming over. So it's the shot's not there, and they know that's the spot that AD likes. And you watch them consistently do that. The same thing with LeBron. Right? They know LeBron likes to get inside, body, and get to and then go straight in a straight line. So what do? They make sure they kept rotating to where they kept somebody in LeBron's line of sight, so he couldn't just dart to the rim. And 9 times, the only thing you can do in those situations is hope that your three-point shooters start making shots. Because if they start making shots, then you can penetrate. Another smart thing, get Austin Reeves the ball, because they're not calling fouls for LeBron, right? They're not going to call the same foul that they were calling for Austin Reeves. They're not calling for LeBron, right? So it's like get Austin Reeves the ball, let Austin Reeves play. They'll call fouls for him. I mean, they'll call fouls for Austin Reeves. Get him the ball. They got Austin Reeves the ball, and Reeves is. It's partly Reeves being good at head faking and getting people up, and it's also the fact that I'm not gonna mince words. He's a white kid, and referees it's statistically shown referees are way more likely to call fouls when white players have the ball. It's just a statistical fact. So get Austin Reeves the ball, let Austin Reeves play, get your fouls, and let Austin Reeves penetrate, because if you let Austin Reeves penetrate, you know they're gonna call the foul if they foul him. LeBron, they ain't gonna rape him in the air and they're not gonna throw nothing. Ja played a good game. Decent game. He wasn't great, but he was decent when his team needed him. But you can tell the emphasis was stopping Ja Morant, so they stopped him. Who slowed him down well enough. Desmond Bane started to get on. He really just had a really good stretch between the third and the fourth, where he kind of came alive. But before that, he was really struggling. But Desmond Bane is not somebody you worry about if he's not shooting. Right? They're talking about, well, he developed the aspect of his game when he puts the ball on the ground. Ain't nobody worried about Desmond Bane getting around anybody, putting the ball on the ground. I mean, he can sneakily get to the rim, but it's not a thing where people are worried about him like he's Ja Morant, right? You can't give him the ball anywhere on the floor and think that he's going to be able to take somebody off the dribble and get a shot off. He's just not that. That's not his game. Dylan Brooks, Kismet that LeBron ended up scoring the game, the close on him. I'll say this again: Dylan Brooks is a good defender. Nobody is looking for Dylan Brooks on no play. Nobody looking to isolate Dylan Brooks. He's a good defensive player. He's a great defensive player. His problem is he talks too much, and his offense is what you expect. Like, everybody try to act like, oh, he's so terribly bad on offense. It's like, well, his role is essentially 3 and D. He 3 is a low percentage shot. He's not gonna make. You can't have him out there shooting 10 shots and expecting him to make 5. That's not. That would be 50%. If he shoots 10 shots, he's gonna miss 10 and make 4. That's just how 3-point shots work. So when you watch it, it's like, my gosh, like the criticism of the guy, I think is just getting overblown. It's just not that serious, right? He said LeBron was old, yes. And he said he don't respect somebody unless they give him 40. He was talking a whole lot of junk because that's what he does. But that aside, the guy is not a terrible player. And it's like, well, look at his stat line. It's like, well, what do you expect? That's not his game. Can you talk about his winning plays on defense? Can you talk about how often he takes on most people, that's not a glamorous position, to guard the best person on defense and then try to turn around and give your team. If you give your team anything, it's a plus. And I thought Dillon Brooks did a job trying to get anything off. Now, that aside, should he stop talking so much? Yes. I think what he realized in this series is talking a lot gets you in trouble. It's completely different when you're attacking Draymond Green and when you're a person who's also got that reputation, and when you're attacking LeBron James. When you attack LeBron James, the first thing most people are going to do is be like, who the hell are you to come at him? And then they're going to attack. It's like, bro, you don't want them comparing your game to LeBron's. That's just a bad, like I said, when I say fool's goal, that's the fool goal. Yeah, you're getting the attention, but the attention is based on them comparing you to LeBron, and that's just lunacy. So now, in comparison, when you put yourself in a matchup with LeBron, the comparison is always going to be woefully lopsided, and you just put yourself in that position for no reason. Why? Just, if he would have said after that game, you know what I'm saying, well, LeBron, the fact that he felt the need to be chirping with me showed that I'm getting to him. Then people would have applauded you for playing the game, this, that, and the third. But he added the extra stuff on there, trying to goat LeBron into trying to, like LeBron is Michael Jordan or Kobe, and going to come out there and start chunking up 60 shots. It's like, that's not what LeBron does. He's never going to do that. LeBron has been goated his entire year. I mean his entire career. Going back to high school, LeBron's been goated. LeBron's always had to deal with people saying stuff about him, saying he's overrated, saying that he's this, saying that he's that. I mean, that's saying he's old was actually a 2 on the 1 to 10 scale of things that people have said negative about LeBron. I mean, and LeBron don't have to take half of that stuff personal because he hears it all the time. So, I think it didn't really add any fuel to LeBron's fire. I mean, you added fuel to LeBron's fire, and I don't think it really added much fuel to yours. I mean, you cannot shoot. That's not your game. You're not an offensive player. So when you start, nobody's paying attention to the fact that you getting smoked on defense someplace because you're not the focal point. They're focusing in on Ja. They're focusing in on Desmond Bain. Anything you give them, most people see as extra. But when you start to sit there and start running your mouth, now all of a sudden you want to play the victim. Oh, the media, this, the media. Like, come on, bro, you did it. And I said, once again, he didn't talk to the media after the game yesterday. It's just sitting there like, come on. You wanted the attention. You got the attention, and it just seems so weak. I think if he just showed up and was like, just continued to talk his junk, that majority of people would just say he's delusional and they'll leave it alone. But the fact that he ran away from the reporters after the game was like, oh my gosh, this is more embarrassing. This is more cringe than if he would have came out and said and kept talking. I mean, this is some cringe junk. It seems like you're running away from accountability. Did he light a fire under the Lakers when he started attacking LeBron? I mean, after game 2, Memphis looked like the hungrier team. The Lakers look like the hungrier team now. So now you sit there and you're watching the game, it's like, maybe that wasn't such a smart idea because clearly it got in his head more than it got in LeBron's. He's the one playing terribly. Because now you can see Dylan Brooks played pressure free. He understood anything he gave them was extra. Now he's playing to actually get good stat lines. So he's hesitant about shooting. He's hesitant about attacking because he's afraid of having a bad stat line because he knows it's going to be all over Twitter. It's going to be all over the media. And they're going to be talking about how badly he played. You made the bed. You know what I'm saying? The big bank take little bank all the time. It's like, bruh, you ain't on LeBron's level. Like just he would have called out Austin Reeves, he called out Rui Hachimura, any of those guys, then most people would have compared you to them. And they're not given opportunities, and they're not the player that LeBron is, so they're gonna have their off games, and so it's an even comparison. When you start calling out LeBron, you run afoul. And I think that's happened. But LeBron, kudos to LeBron. LeBron's IQ, to me, is so undervalued. I mean, what he did on that play, and nobody notices it, because everybody remembers the play before that, where he made the game winner. But nobody sees the one where he ISO'd Jaren Jackson. I think it was the first or second possession in overtime. Where he he moved him around and forced Jaren Jackson to come out hot. Now you got the rim protector out. It blows by him, gets to the rim. I said that's the smart thing he did in that play was you get over here, you go over here. AD just move. You go out in the corner, and that's gonna force Tillman to the corner. Now Jackson has no help, right? And it's like, oh well, AD ain't been hitting a shot. Yes, but LeBron shot it to AD. I think it was like 2 or 3 possessions earlier, and AD had a wide open. Now AD airballed it, but if you watch the play, it's dangerous because AD can hit that shot, and he has hit that shot. So you don't want to leave AD out there standing wide open. So it pulls Tillman out. Now you pulling Tillman out. The other players on the court you have to respect, 3-point or the drive. Schroeder, you cannot overreach on him, right? And he has Ja on him. So obviously, if they try to double down on LeBron, you're gonna end up with Schroeder ISO with Ja Morant, or Austin Reeves ISO with who was it? Luke Kennard, was it? I can't remember which one, but it was scattered. So you have to respect everybody on the court. Now I'm ISO with Jaren Jackson. He around him, layup. It's like their biggest problem was they were not, and this is what I say when you playing LeBron in a 5-game series in comparison to playing him in one night. The looks, he starts to remember the looks. Okay. They'll always say you don't really truly see LeBron until around game 5, when you start to realize this guy is he knows everything we're doing. He remembers everything we're doing. And every game you notice the Memphis Grizzlies have to play different. Every game LeBron James has a different type of game, right? You have one game where he has a whole bunch of assists. You have another game where he has points, and you have another game where he has rebounds and does all the dirty work. Because LeBron understands sets. He understands when they get into their sets, he understands what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do. And he moves and he covers and him being there with Ja on those drives it wasn't by chance. He knows their sets. He knows what they're gonna do, and he knows where so he moves out, and the minute that lane opens, he knows Ja's gonna attack. So he moves out and moves in, and he's there not right. He doesn't slide underneath Ja. He shoots there almost like 2 or 3 seconds before Ja gets there. But now Ja's already going downhill, and he has to commit at this point. He can't pass it at that point because everybody's covered. He ain't got nobody to go. He got nowhere to go with the ball. So now John Morant's already downhill, and he got him for 2 charges just off the bat. He understood the sets and what John Morant likes to do. And it's just, to me, it just comes down to, at the end of the day, LeBron, his brain is what got him through that contest yesterday. That was all LeBron. Him scheming, figuring out what the team is doing, and just finding ways to contribute. AD, biggest problem, I thought he did a hell of a job defensively and on the glass. Offensive rebound, he's not going to get a lot of offensive rebounds because he's getting double. Just like Jaren Jackson, they get a lot of offensive rebounds because they were doubling him. It's just what happens. It's the other guys that got to step up when the primary rebounders are being shut off like that. You know what I'm saying? They got to step up, but it's harder to do that when he's playing with these small ball lineups all the time. He ain't have nobody who can help clean up glass. There's only one rebounder out there a lot of times, and it's Anthony Davis. There's only one player that can attack the back. I mean, that can get the ball in the deep post. It's Anthony Davis. So, you know, like Tillman and LeBron started going low, and it started to help Anthony Davis before. But when LeBron is forced to run the point, he can't help Davis in the post, and that's when you get a lot of those mashups where they look like they're discombobulated, because it's like LeBron is running. LeBron tries to, especially with Dennis Schroeder. LeBron will make his cut. LeBron will see what the defense is doing, and he'll make his cut. And when he makes his cut, he's like, here, and they just keep dribbling. And you see LeBron like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this and tell you when to pass it. You got to see these things. And you see LeBron did that. And this didn't happen 1 or 2 times. This happened 3 or 4 times throughout the game where LeBron would make a quick cut. And it's like, bro, do y'all not understand how to play the position? The only one that sees it is D'Angelo Russell. He's the only one. Austin Reeves, dribble, cut, dribble. Dennis Schroeder, oh my gosh. He did a bang-up job defensively on John Morant, so I can understand why they kept him in there. But, oh my gosh, this is the frustration I have with Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder sometimes goes, he has no contingency plan. He wants to score, and you know he's dribbling the score. He's not dribbling the pass, and then when he gets in trouble, a lot of times, and they ask him, like, you know, to run these plays, he just looks so discombobulated. He just doesn't. It seems like he just doesn't understand where he needs to be, where he's supposed to be. It just seems he's out of control. And when you sit there and you're watching a guy who seems to be so out of control, and your mindset is, you know, like, I understand he's enough for defensive purposes, but why are we giving him the point guard? Why are we letting him run the point? It's like, I'll take Austin Reeves over letting him run the point. But the truth matter is the one that should be running the point is D'Lo. Problem with that is sometimes D'Lo needs to play off the ball because he's the best three-point shooter they got off the dribble. So, I mean, with pressure. The other guys can hit it when they're wide open. D'Lo can hit it if he's covered. But the difference in the situation is, like, you watch the game, it's like he's running point for so long. Now you want to switch him over to shooting, but the other guys are not putting him in a position to succeed when he goes off the ball. And that's the advanced metrics of the game that a lot of people don't pay attention to. But anyways, please let me know what y'all think about the game. My Heat won last night, which I love. Jimmy Buckets is ridiculous. People saying it's the greatest Heat playoff game, and please. Do we forget the D-Wade game, that finals? Like, this is the first round. That's blasphemous. He had a good game. It's a good game, but it's not like the D-Wade ain't never gone for 50 in a playoff game. It's like no, Jimmy Butler did a good job in that game. He was ridiculous in that game. happy we won. But by the same token, it's like, come on, bruh. It's like we gonna just forget about Dwayne Wade that soon. It's like this is the moment of, the caught in the moment stuff that I can't stand about the NBA. It's like, come on, bro, you know that man ain't on D Wade's level. Like, stop it. But please let me know what y'all think. Comment, thumbs it up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to knock Jimmy Butler. I thought it was a great game. And was it one of the best playoff games in Miami Heat history? Yes. The greatest game. Come on, LeBron Game 5 in Boston. Dwayne Wade in the finals. No, it's not. But anyways, please comment. Let me know what y'all think. Thumbs it up if you like it. Subscribe, and please hit the notification so you can get my videos as soon as they come out. All right, y'all. Peace.